Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Tonight on Our News, tempers flare as MPs debate the latest extension to the state of emergency. A veteran educator charged with indecent assault, plus one-on-one with businessman Craig Flowers. Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Dragovich. Topping news tonight, debate on the extension of the state of emergency heating up in Parliament this morning as Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis making his case for another extension that he insists is the country's best defense against the COVID-19 pandemic. Jasmine Brown reports.
That debate heated up at several points today as both the opposition leader and the Prime Minister shouted at each other from across the floor. The resolution extends the state of emergency to May 23rd. Dr. Minnis says the fact that the opposition can oppose the extension is worrisome. He categorized the opposition as a danger to the country.
Mr. Speaker, I hope the opposition, when he speaks, he would talk about how he wanted clubs and liquor and bars to be open and individuals to enjoy themselves while we were suffering from a pandemic.
What I said is level the playing field
And open bars.
And stop favoring his special interest donors. He allowed a bar to open.
Bar?
The bar? You explained that the bar was part of the hotel and it was not.
It's part of the whole...
It is not. It is not.
There is
every behavior
there is such a thing as Hotel Encouragement Act, and you are well aware of it, and you know that was a part of it. You have the data, you can look at it. So don't try to mislead this out. You wanted the bars open so individuals can go in, drink, dance, and dine. You wanted humans to die.
As the shouting and finger pointing continued, House Speaker Halson Mutri stepped in, telling members that the debate must remain orderly. During his contribution, Davis took the opportunity to hit out at the Minnis administration's handling of the pandemic. Davis insisted they have made tragic missteps when it comes to handling the blow to the economy and accused the Prime Minister of failing to communicate with top hoteliers, including the owners of Club Med.
Got to talk with these people.
His comments prompted Minnis to strike back as he sought to explain why the resort is closed.
At no time was my office or I written about any meeting with Club Med. Now the member must recognize that France has gone viral. They are locked down, and most of the guests come from France.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, a two-time recipient of the Teacher of the Year award in Grand Bahama has been charged with indecent assault. Jillian Gray has the details.
Handcuffed with his head hung low, Reynold Robinson was escorted into a magistrate's court by two officers. Robinson, a music teacher on Grand Bahama, is charged with one count of indecent assault. It is alleged that Robinson, on the 18th of January 2021, assaulted a 17-year-old girl. Outside court today, an onlooker shouted at him as he walked in.
Bobby, come on, man. These guys, I know you're under brothers. Yeah. Bobby. How do you get caught up this, man?
Well, I don't know.
I need to slap you side your head.
I believe so myself.
Robinson, who received the BUT Lifetime of Excellence Award in 2019, pled not guilty to the charge and was granted bail in the amount of $3,500. Deputy Chief Magistrate Debbie Ferguson ordered the 63-year-old to wear an ankle monitoring device and sign in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the Central Police Station. The matter was adjourned to March 17th for trial. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jillian Gray.
A police constable along with 4 members of his family were charged with one count of possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply. 27-year-old police constable Hugh Minnis seen in the plaid jacket, 20-year-old Takeem Stirrup in the green shirt, 26-year-old Frederick Roll in the blue and red shirt, 61-year-old Deborah Nabby in the blue and white blouse, and 39-year-old Anthony Lightburn in the mustard blouse all appeared before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt this afternoon. Prosecutors allege that on January 27, 2021, the accused had in their possession a quantity of Indian hemp with the intent to supply. The drugs weighed 1 ounce and had a street value of $120. To this charge, they all pleaded not guilty except for Takeem Stirrup, who entered a guilty plea. Minnis and Stirrup were also charged with another count of possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply. It is alleged that on the same date, the pair was found with Indian hemp with a street value of $15. Minnis entered a not guilty plea while Stirrup pleaded guilty. The police constable attached to the mobile division was also hit with another count of possession of dangerous drugs. It's alleged that on the same day and without proper authority, he was found with a quantity of dangerous drugs valued at $5. He pleaded not guilty to this charge. As a result, Minnis was granted bail in the amount of $4,500 with one surety. He is also required to report to the East Street Police Station every Wednesday on or before 6 p.m. Roll, Nabby, and Lightburn were each given $3,000 bail with one surety. Their matter was adjourned to July 1st at 11 a.m. Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
With more than 8,000 COVID-19 cases recorded during the second wave of the virus, Minister of Health Renward Wells declaring today that the curve has been flattened and the next step in the fight against COVID-19 will rely on vaccination. Giorgio Bain reports.
In the first wave, we had 104 cases. In the second wave to date, we have had 8,140 cases. However, Mr. Speaker, the curve has and is flattened.
21 new cases were reported by the Ministry of Health on Wednesday, bringing the total number of active cases in the Bahamas to 1,179. According to the health minister, the Bahamas is closer to receiving vaccines.
The Bahamas' readiness is reflecting the majority. 7 of 9 progress indicators are in the maturity stage, and the remaining 2 of those indicators have been completed. These indicators inform timing of access of countries to the in-country delivery of COVID-19 vaccine by the WHO. Mr. Speaker, this is to say that the Bahamas is well on its way to receiving the COVID-19 vaccine very, very soon.
The government is now moving towards securing additional vaccines beyond the 80,000 already secured, according to Wells.
Other opportunities for assessing the COVID-19 vaccinations are also being explored. With Pfizer, Moderna, Oxford, AstraZeneca, and Johnson & Johnson approved or in the advanced stages of development, securing access to additional vaccine is now possible.
Amid vaccine mistrust among some Bahamians, the Minister of Health had this advice.
Having a vaccine, though, is only one piece of the puzzle. Getting vaccinated is another. In other words, having a vaccine is beneficial to no one if we do not roll up our sleeves to take the vaccine.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Giorgio Bain.
And the Prime Minister announcing in the House of Assembly today that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has reassessed the Bahamas' COVID-19 threat level and will modify the country's travel health notice to a level 3 from the more serious level 4.
This reassessment came after discussions between myself, other Bahamian officials, and the U.S. government. We will, I believe, be moved to level 3 because the CDC sees how much progress we have made and are convinced that we will continue to be vigilant.
Up to this afternoon, the Bahamas was still categorized as a level 4 destination on the CDC's website, which indicates a very high level of COVID-19. The level 4 alert was first posted on November 21st, warning persons to avoid travel to the Bahamas. The page was last updated on December 2nd, 2020. And it's a cooler evening outside the Our News studios tonight. Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with the details.
Thanks, Christina. I'm meteorologist Greg Thompson with your first look at weather. Yes, the cool weather is starting to take shape across our area tonight. Temperatures are in the mid-70s, 75 degrees. With just a few clouds outside, your winds are out of the south, very light, 5 knots, feels like temperature around 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Taking a look at our satellite view around the area, absolutely beautiful conditions across the islands. That ridge of high pressure remains in charge. We did have some patchy clouds across the Andros and the Abacos, but all of that will be moving out as that high pressure system pulls towards the east. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come, the Cable Bahamas COO sheds light on a technical disruption to the Rev TV network. Plus, the heartbroken mother of a young woman found dead speaks out. Stay with us.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
The family of a 19-year-old who was killed last week remember her as an outgoing young woman who had a beautiful smile. Jared Higgs tells us her family regrets that she didn't reach her full potential in life.
She wouldn't want us to cry. She'd want us to celebrate her the way she lives.
A loving young woman with a strong mind is how Atalia Carey remembers her daughter, 19-year-old Candice Pearl Smith.
Pearl was a very loving child, very energetic, always smiling, always moving, always on the go. She loved life.
Smith's body was found off Marshall Road last week with blunt force injuries to the head. Her mother was devastated when she heard the news.
I kept calling her, and I never got an answer.
Smith, who was 19 when she died, loved playing basketball and enjoyed success playing the sport in high school. She made a youth national team and led her junior high school team to a championship in grade 9. It was a source of pride for her family.
He was recruited for the national team, the junior girls national team, where they went to Guyana one year and they won the gold medal. And she she enjoyed that trip. That was one of her feats. She also was an MVP for the HO National Lions.
Smith's great aunt also remembered her energetic attitude. She said she regrets that the 19-year-old wasn't able to reach her full potential.
She wasn't given that chance. She had a bright future if she had taken herself further with the basketball. I always regretted that she didn't go down that road. I think she would have done so well. So I can't say that at the time she died, she had reached her full potential. You know, everyone is allowed time to grow, to live, learn, and make changes, and she didn't get a chance to do that.
Gail Carey also lamented fake social media reports about her grandniece's death. She's calling on people to be more sensitive.
I wish they would understand that they're speaking about somebody's child, and to put that negative connotation out there about the way she died, it's so unjust and so cruel.
Pearl also loved motorbikes and boats and wanted to be an entrepreneur. On Monday, a 24-year-old man was charged with murder in relation to her death. Her mother says she wants justice and to keep her daughter's memory alive.
There are always going to be negative comments, but even from Facebook, friends, family, the positive outweigh the negative. So I just want to remember Pearl in that life.
Reporting for Our News, I am Jared Higgs.
Well, a major disruption in service for Rev TV customers throughout the Bahamas today, part of a disruption that took place on Tuesday. Rev Chief Operating Officer John Gomez joins us to shed some light on the issue. John, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Christina.
All right, so can you tell us a little bit more about the service that was impacted this morning?
Yeah, so around about 9 p.m. last night, Christina, we started to have an event on the network where our alarm started to go off on our video network in addition to customers calling in. And so we immediately mobilized our technicians to find out exactly what was happening. And what we found is that a number of our channels began to what we call pixelate, where the video starts to break, the audio starts to drop. And what we found is that we had lost all of our video services on our main core router.
All right, and which islands were impacted? I know people here on New Providence were impacted, but any other islands?
So actually, I mean, our entire network, all of our customers that get video services from us were impacted. New Providence, Grand Bahama, Abacoy, Luthra, and even the other family islands as well. The one saving grace of the smaller family islands is that we still were able to carry our TV, ZNS, and also the Parliamentary channel, but all other services were down.
All right. And so if customers notice that they have any disruptions in their services with pixelation or any other issues, what are some of the steps that they can take to get that rectified?
So right now, Christina, just to give you a status update in terms of where we are. Currently, we're still about 85% of our network has been fully restored. So we still have 15% left to of those channels to be fully restored. And so the challenge that we're faced with in terms of being able to add the additional or the remaining 15% of those channels back to the network, there's a possibility that it may impact 85% of the channels that we currently have restored already. So we've made the decision to actually restore those remaining 15% during the maintenance window that happens between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that update, and we look forward to getting a full restoration of service throughout the country.
Absolutely. And also, I just want to take a quick word to say thank you or apologies to all of our customers, because we recognize especially how frustrating, how inconvenient it can be just now. So we do apologize for the inconvenience.
Thank you for your time. All right. When our news comes back from the break, we catch up with businessman Craig Flowers, plus a major donation to community service organizations. Stay with us.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
This is our news. Welcome back. From the cockpit to major companies, Craig Flowers has made quite a name for himself in aviation and business. However, tonight we see another side of the prominent businessman in tonight's edition of A Closer Look with Vonique Toot.
When he's not in the boardroom or jetting around the world, you may find businessman Craig Flowers on the golf course working on his swing. It's been 6 months since a busy pilot turned numbers boss hit the green, but he was willing to pull out his clubs to give me a few lessons in golfing.
Take it back, keep your eye on the ball. There you go. Nice.
I know you didn't expect me to hit it, though. It was a different side to the man whose business acumen has made him an instantly recognizable name. We made the short track from his Ocean Club home, which overlooks the scenic 6-hole, to Ocean Club golf course for a quick round. He sure had his work cut out for him.
And just sweep it down there where you want it to sweep, wherever you think the date should go. Not bad again.
It took me 9 swings that sent him searching in bushes.
You found it? Yeah, both of them are right here. They came right off the side here.
Then again, Flowers has been playing since he was a young boy.
I've been playing golf from I was 14.
Wow.
And played at all levels. In the Middle East, I played on sand greens. I mean, playing everywhere that I possibly could have. And it certainly has shaped my mind and most of my personal inner self, because the sport requires you to be the judge of yourself.
This enriching experience inspired the philanthropist to spend a whopping $5.2 million out of pocket to develop the Blue Hill Golfing Range, which has become a training ground for up-and-coming golfers.
We believe that if we give the little kids the opportunity to play the game, they can have access to these places if they play well. If they excel to the level of a Tiger Woods game.
Flowers, who has achieved great success, says he wanted to give back.
I felt as though that what a great opportunity it would be for me to do something like that for others. And when the government assigned the space for the driving range to the Bahamas Golf Federation, I saw that as an opportunity to piggyback and to acquire more land and to expand on that presence, as long as I was spending my own money and I didn't need any help and I had major creative ideas.
On any given day, you'd find the older golfers hanging out under this tree.
Mr. Lancy, I came here, was trying to sneak past this crew, but of course, you know, they stopped us. Really? And if Bruce stopped you and Harvey stopped you, you know they have something sarcastic to say.
Nearby, the youngsters get lessons in perfecting their swing and putting from local golf pros.
Standing over wrong. Thank you. Now I want to set up. First of all, the grip. Let me see your grip. Good grip. Bend your knees. Right there. It's a sitting position. You have to be like you're sitting down. Now, drop club. Let me see a swing. No, time out. All right, let's go.
The 10 acres of plush greenery is also home to a 9-hole golf course featuring picturesque ponds and a bridge. But Flowers isn't done yet.
We're cleaning this up now and pushing back all the debris, and this is going to be a park. This is going to be mostly where people will walk and exercise. We can put in some vegetable trees.
COVID slowed progress, but Flowers hopes to complete his new passion project by August.
We are now waiting for a consistent schedule to bring in our containers, to all of these open areas, all of these areas with the same turf, and to put the irrigation in. And then that's it for me. I can literally say that the golf course is completed.
Reporting for our news, I'm Vonique Tude.
Good form, Vonique. Well, Alive continuing to give back by donating more than $31,000 each to emergency relief agency Idea Relief and Lend a Hand Bahamas, part of its $200,000 holiday campaign. Cable Bahamas Group of Companies CEO Franklin Butler and Chief Alive Officer Damian Blackburn stressing the importance of donations like these.
It just gives us great pleasure, again, to be able to have impact in our communities and to really make a difference at a time when many people are hurting and desirous of support.
And we thought instead it was better that we redivert the money to these good causes and to really these organisations who are doing incredible work, particularly the Feeding Network, as I say, and the Salvation Army. But Idea and Lend a Hand have been partners of ours for a while, and we thought they really deserved the money.
Idea Relief President Will Tomlinson says the hardship caused by Hurricane Dorian on Abaco was compounded during the COVID-19 pandemic.
We are currently feeding over 15,000 people on a weekly basis and have been doing so since April. So this donation will help us help the most vulnerable people in Abaco for the upcoming quarter.
Coming up, Kalina joins the fight against hunger. The details after this.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
Welcome back to our news. Some clouds around the capital. Greg, what can we expect over the next few days?
Thanks again, Christina. Our second look at weather tonight is being brought to you by Lactogen 3 from 1 year onward, distributed by the Lightburn Trading Limited Company. Satellite view around the area. High pressure remains in charge of our weather, generating those stable conditions and clear sunny skies. But that high is expected to move out towards east. That's paving the way for a front boundary now moving across the Florida area with some showers and thunderstorms expected to get here tomorrow. Winds will be very strong ahead of the front, but once that front goes through, we expect some nice cooling down temperatures for the weekend. Your boating forecast for the northwest and central Bahamas tonight. We're asking you boaters to remain in port tomorrow. Your winds would start off south to southwest tonight, but picking up in speed and shifting west to northwest at 20 to 30 knots. Seas building 2 to 4 feet, but up to 8 to 10 feet by tomorrow. For the southeast Bahamas, those winds will be light southeast to south, 10 knots, seas 1 to 3 feet. Low tide will be at 12:58 tomorrow morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. A look now at your extended forecast through Monday. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everyone. Back to Christina.
Well, Kalina has joined the fight against hunger by donating $10,000 to the Bahamas Feeding Network for food parcels. Director of Corporate Communications Maxine Seymour says as a good corporate citizen, the company wanted to make a difference in the community during this difficult time.
Once ago, food security was something just maybe cliche or catchphrase or something that many people didn't consider. But recently, food security has been something that everybody, regular working people, everybody has been impacted in some way by. And so, we find it very important to assist the community any way we can.
Executives helped to pack boxes for distribution. Bahamas Feeding Network Executive Director Philip Smith says they're still feeding about 80,000 people, with many not on their list still coming for assistance. Thanking Kalina, Smith encouraged others to join in the fight against hunger.
The government's initiative ends at the end of March, so we don't know how we are going to make it going forward, but organizations like Kalina will assist in us going forward after the government's initiative comes to an end. And so we just want to encourage other organizations to follow what Kalina is doing today.
Thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Christina Dragovich. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a beautiful evening, Bahamas.